1347, Italy. The port city of Messina watches giant ships emerge from the darkness of the Black Sea.
But something is horribly wrong. The ships are silent, no crew, no movement, and when people climb aboard, their blood turns cold.
Dead bodies everywhere, sailors rotting where they fell, black boils covering their flesh. Europe had just opened the door to death itself.
The Black Death spread like fire through Europe. Nearly 50 million people died. Entire villages disappeared, and humanity collapsed.
Now fast forward to 2026. Once again, a mysterious ship drifts across the ocean.
Passengers are dying. Panic is spreading, and countries are refusing to let it dock. A deadly virus is spreading on board. No cure, no vaccine, and nearly half the infected may never survive.
This is the terrifying story of the cruise ship MV Hondius and the virus called Hantavirus.
April 1st, 2026. From the southernmost city of Argentina, a luxury expedition ship begins its journey. Its name, MV Hondius, owned by the Dutch company Oceanwide Expeditions.
On board are 147 people, passengers and crew, from 23 different countries.
The plan sounds like a dream. Antarctica, remote islands of the South Atlantic, and finally the Canary Islands of Spain.
A once-in-a-lifetime adventure. People are celebrating, taking photos, drinking wine beneath the Antarctic sky.
But nobody knows that death has already boarded the ship. Among the passengers is an elderly Dutch couple in their 70s.
For the last 4 months, they had been traveling through South America, exploring forests, camping in remote regions.
But during one of those trips, they unknowingly came into contact with something invisible.
A virus, silent, hidden, waiting inside their bodies.
And very soon, it would transform this luxury cruise into a floating nightmare.
6 days into the journey, a Dutch passenger develops a mild fever, headache, body pain.
The ship doctor examines him. Probably just Antarctica's freezing weather, they think. Nothing dangerous.
But the next day, everything changes. The fever becomes severe. He starts vomiting.
Then suddenly, he struggles to breathe, and the doctors on board become deeply confused.
There's no advanced lab on board, no proper testing facility, and the nearest hospital is thousands of kilometers away. Then, on April 11th, the man dies in the middle of the ocean.
No land, no hospital, just a dead body, trapped inside a ship full of people.
And then something even more terrifying happens. His wife begins showing the exact same symptoms. The ship immediately changes course toward St. Helena Island. His wife is flown to South Africa for emergency treatment. But on April 26th, at Johannesburg Airport, she suddenly collapses and dies.
Husband and wife, dead within days. And now, panic slowly begins spreading on board.
A German passenger falls sick next, fever, breathing problems, and on May 2nd, She dies too. 3 deaths, multiple infected, and nobody knows why.
Doctors begin emergency testing. Malaria, negative. COVID, negative. Influenza, negative.
Then finally, one PCR test reveals the horrifying answer: Hantavirus, the deadly Andes strain.
And suddenly, governments around the world panic, because this virus is absolutely terrifying.
Hantavirus is carried by rodents, rats, mice, their saliva, urine, and infected droppings.
When infected particles enter the lungs through air, the infection silently begins inside the body.
At first, the symptoms seem harmless. Fever, fatigue, body pain, almost like normal flu. But then the lungs begin filling with fluid. Breathing becomes impossible. Organs slowly begin failing.
There is no approved cure, no vaccine. Doctors can only provide oxygen and hope.
And unlike most hantaviruses, the Andes strain can spread between humans through close contact.
A cruise ship was the perfect environment. 147 people trapped together in the middle of the ocean.
Now, naturally, the biggest question becomes impossible to ignore. Could hantavirus become the next pandemic?
Thankfully, experts say the chances are low, and there are 2 major reasons why.
First, the human transmission window is extremely small. Unlike COVID, patients stay infectious only briefly.
Second, the virus does not spread easily through air like flu or coronavirus. Close, prolonged contact is usually required.
But the danger is still terrifyingly real. Because once infected, survival becomes extremely difficult.
And climate change may make things worse. Scientists link rodent population explosions to heavy rainfall events.
More rain, more food, more rats, and eventually, more deadly viruses.
In 1993, a deadly hantavirus outbreak struck the United States after massive rodent population growth.
Even today, hantavirus silently infects people around the world. Most people simply never hear about it.
Until something dramatic happens. Like a ship full of dying passengers, trapped alone in the ocean.
The scariest thing about viruses is not how big they are. It's how unbelievably small they are.
Something invisible, something you cannot even see, can bring entire countries into panic within days.
A tiny virus can stop flights, close borders, trap ships, and kill people frighteningly fast.
Humanity builds giant cities, artificial intelligence, space rockets, technology beyond imagination.
But every few years, nature reminds us how fragile we truly are.
And maybe that was the biggest lesson from the MV Hondius crisis. Not fear, but awareness.
Because somewhere right now, viruses like these already exist. Silent, hidden, waiting.
And hopefully, humanity is ready before the next outbreak finally begins.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more terrifying real stories and documentaries.